Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm back again and we're going back to Brothers War today. We did a whole load of Urza deck the other week where I played every single version of Ursa I owned on MTGO in the deck, and yeah, it worked out quite well. So I thought I'd better have a look at his brother. Now, the brother that I looked at is not the one you're expecting probably. It's one from the main set, and it's this one. Mishra, Tamer of Mak Fawa. 3 black and a red for a 4/4. That's okay. Not a bit below curve, but it's alright. But the ability is fantastic. Every permanent you control has ward, sacrifice a permanent. Okay, so to kill any of your creatures, any kill spells that aren't mass removal, like Wrath of God, Farewell, etc., they've got to sack something off to do it. Okay, like that plan. It's looking good so far. And the second ability is pretty damn good as well. Each artifact card in your graveyard has an earth of 1, a black, and a red. Okay then. So, it's got to be an artifact heavy deck because we want the artifacts, but we've got to make sure we stay alive as well. So, I've been playing around with this for a while now, trying to work it all out, and this is what I've come up with. Start as I usually do, going through all the land base. The usual selection of black-red lands, including Command Tower, Fabled Passage, Field of the Dead, because I figured we might need some blockers. Every other black-red land you can think of, but there's a couple of things I want to point out. I've included the Hauler Tagsin in here, purely because we want to be able to create mana stones if we need to. Power stones, sorry, because we are casting a lot of artifact spells, so we need to make sure we get the mana there. And if we can get this out early, hit the 4 mana and start creating the power stones, it really does help us build up to some of the big stuff we've got coming in the deck. Likewise, I've chucked in an Inventor's Fair. We need to gain a little bit of life with this deck, and there's a really good reason as to why we're doing this. So the Inventor's Fair is there basically to help us hopefully pad up our life total a bit, which I'm not sure if it's going to work or not, but I've got a couple other ways in the deck of gaining life, so we'll go to them in a little while. Just to round off, we've got Morocco as well, just so we can everyone draws cards. People might leave us alone if we let them draw cards. Mountains, swamps, Reliquary Tower, and down the bottom, Temple of the False God. Temple of the False God is actually quite important in this deck because of the 2 colourless it gives you, and we are going deep on this deck. So, as for the ramp side of things, I've got Mox Tantalite, Soul's Ring, Arcane Signet, Charcoal Diamond, Fellwell Stone, Fire Diamond, Hedron Crawler. I'm technically, though it's a 0/1 creature, I'm calling it ramp in this deck, just so we know. Mind Stone and Talisman of Indulgence. We've got a couple of other things that help us produce mana as well. Like I said, we've got things that produce power stones. So it's not quite all of it, but we'll get to it as we go along. The deck's a little bit top heavy. You can't see all of it on the screen at the moment, but we'll go across in a minute. But you can check the deck list down below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and here we go through the rest of the deck. Usual interesting 1-drops. So we've got Elixir of Immortality. You've all seen me talk about it enough now. Again, it's where you gain life. Senses Divining Top, so we can actually dig a little bit. I'm not sure it belongs in the deck. It could be one of the cards we take out and put something more useful in, but I've put it in for now. And Signal Pest, because at the end of the day, we will be attacking with a lot of creatures, and that little bit of pump's quite nice. Plus the fact it's a 0/1 that can block early, get killed off. When we get Mishra in play, we can unearth it and get in with that little bit of extra damage, which might help us. It's a black-red deck, so Dockside's in. You've heard it all before. I've been through all the ramp in here and Sidron. I've got Lightning Greaves and Swiftfoot Boots in here. Swiftfoot Boots in here to protect Mishra, and also to help protect this thing. Steel Overseer is kind of key in this deck. We want to be putting +1/+1 counters on our creatures when they come in. So hopefully, having both versions, the Lightning Greaves and Swiftfoot Boots in here, we'll be able to protect the Overseer. That's what it's there for. Excavation Explosions in just to get the Power Stone. Yeah, we can shoot something for 3, but that's not really what it's here for. It's just 3 mana, get a Power Stone token is what we're after. Junkyard Genius is a bit more with it. Yes, it gives us a Power Stone token, which I'm really happy about for 3 mana. But then we can sack artifacts or another creature off to it, Prime Suspect, Signal Pest over here, to give all our other creatures +1 and Menace to the end of the turn, so we can actually pump through with a bit of luck. The other way of making mana, Ashnod's Altar. I'm quite happy to sacrifice my creatures off because I can unearth them with Mishra, so that's quite nice. Or, you know, sack them off and then shuffle them back in with Elixir of Immortality if I need to. And this does give us a quite nice little bit of mana ramp as we go through the game. Chief of the Foundry, just here as well to pump our creatures. Chromatic Lantern, Coalition Relic. They're here because I wanted some extra ramp. And I forgot to mention them a minute ago, so I'm an idiot, but hey, deal with it. Filigree Familiar, another way of gaining life. Foundry Inspector to make our artifacts cost a little bit less. Howling Golem's in just so we can get that block and attack and draw the extra cards. Yes, each player draws a card, fine. Maybe not very helpful against some decks, but in here it's also something we can sack off to the Ashnod's Altar, so we can play with it, attack, get the card. If we draw something good, we can sack it to the altar without getting too upset about it. Palladium Mirrors in as well, just to ramp us a little bit harder. I've included Phyrexian Dragon Engine in here. I haven't got Mishra claimed by Gix in here. Though, you know, that is a possibility if you want to go and get one and pick it up. But at the moment, as I record this video, they're a little bit pricey still on MTGO, so it might be that we get this later on and try and pick something up and do it. But at the moment, they're sitting around about 7 tickets as I'm recording this video, so a little bit outside of my price range at the moment. But I might pick one up eventually. But I wanted the Phyrexian Dragon in because it, you know, it comes with its own Unearth. Yes, its own Unearth is 5, but you know, we've got an Unearth of 3, so hey. And the double strike's quite nice. And if we play it from the battle graveyard and do it that way, we get to discard our hand and draw 3 cards. Now, we may not have anything in our hand that's any use, but drawing the extra 3 is quite good. Thran Spider's in as well. Yes, it gives one of our opponents a Power Stone token, but we try and give it to someone who's not going to benefit from it. And the 7 mana to reveal an artifact card is a little bit harsh, but it is a 2/4 reach for 3 mana, and that's the main reason in here, just to block the early blockers, because obviously the new beginner commander decks have come out today as I'm recording this, or this weekend as I'm recording this, I should say. And there's one of them that's going to have flyers in it. I'm expecting to see it a lot on stream over the next few weeks as people pick it up. Damnation to control the board along with Chain Reaction. I've picked up a Brothers War and put in because 4 mana, get 2 tapped Power Stone tokens, then we can make goad basically everyone else's 2 other players' creatures, they attack each other. And then, you know, deals X damage to any target where X is number of artifacts you control. That's quite nice, so hence why it's here. Chain Reaction Dimensions and Visions of Phyrexia also in here. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. At the beginning of your end step, if you didn't play that card, exile it and create another Power Stone token. Yeah, alright, I'll sacrifice some of my stuff to do this. That's fine. Aetherflux Reservoir. I've chucked in this. I'm not sure. This could be a backup win condition, but it's also another way of gaining life, and we do need life. I'm coming to the card. We've probably seen it if you can see the screen clearly. I'm coming to the card as to why we need this shortly. Aetherworks Marvel I thought would be quite fun, just for a little bit of energy. As things die or we sack things off, getting that energy and then maybe paying 6 to go and find something really useful from the top of our library is good. Cosmos Alexa is in as well. Life gain or card draw, thank you. Font of Mythos to make sure everyone's drawing cards. And it's also a way of discarding our stuff if we need to get it unearthing. Lodestone Golem I decided to have a bit of fun with when non-artifact spells cost 1 more to cast. Yes, it probably makes you a bit of a target, but hey, let's do it anyway. Solemn Sim for the ramp. Stone Retrieval Unit for that Power Stone. And I've chucked in a Viceling because I've got Font of Mythos in and I've got Howling Golem in. You know, we might get a bit of damage in on some people with this, so hey, let's do that. Kodotha Forge Master is so we can go and find some of the bigger artifacts that are coming up. It's quite a nice way of sacking off some of the things we don't need anymore. I'm thinking like Mind Stone. You know, if we get to the point where we've got enough lands in play, Mind Stone can go, Sensi's Divining Top can go, so on and so forth. Hedron Crawler. Sack them off, get one of our bigger, more useful artifacts down the road. Hence why this is here. It's also another creature that I will probably protect with the Swiftfoot Boots or the Lightning Greaves, so bear that in mind. Noxious Gearhulk I forgot was an artifact, so that went in. Kill something. Salvage Titan I also forgot about. This was so long ago, it's in the Shards of Alara. You may sacrifice 3 other artifacts rather than pay the spell's cost. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Hopefully, you know, just sack off some treasures maybe. Right, Bolas' Citadel is the reason I wanted all the life gain in the deck. If we can do this and play the land cards and spells from top of our library, and we can pay life equal to... Ooh, sorry, bit of a yawn there. Pay the life for those spells, but don't forget you do play the spells. So, you know, if you've got Etherflux Reservoir in play and you've got a healthy life total, you can probably play most of the spells and gain a whole load of life as you're doing it. So bear that in mind. To help with mana generation, I chucked in Ancient Copper Dragon. Again, this would be a target for the Boots or the Greaves once we get it in play, just so we can get those extra treasure tokens. It might help us ramp. Combustible Gearhulk as well, the first strike 6/6 one. The red version of basically Noxious Gearhulk there. They're all constructs, which are quite nice. End Spatfield, target opponent may have you draw 3 cards. If the player doesn't, you may mill 3, and then you deal damage. Ooh. To that player equal to the total number of value of those cards. So, you know, one way or the other, you're going to get some damage in. Artificious Dragons also in from Brothers War. I thought this was more at home in this deck. I quite like the fact that I can use red mana to pump all the artifact creatures as well. And it's a 4/4 flyer, which is a bit weak for 6 mana, but pumping everything for 1 red, yes please, thank you very much. Duplicate to take out the annoying creatures on the board. Eternity Vessel is another way of sorting out our life total. What I'm hoping is that we can get it in, we can play this fairly early on when we've still got reasonably high life total, and then just go into it from there. So yeah, we'll see what happens with it. So it's a good plan. Worm Call Engine, it's Phyrexian Worm. You've got to have one in, haven't you? Carrying on, going up the chain. You see, it does get heavy up the end here. Blitz Automaton is probably going to be more of the 3 mana side for the 3/2 prototype side of it to get the haste damage in early. Meteor Golem just to blow things up that we don't like. Maya Battlesphere to tap the mirrors and pump it up. Okay, we'll go with that. And it's a little creature as well, which is quite nice. I've chucked in a Bosch Iron Golem. We will have a lot of artifacts kicking around at some stage, and sacking one off and doing that damage equal to their mana value is pretty good. And we do have 4 mana quite readily in this deck. Blasphemous Act, removal, control the board. Skitterbeam Battalion is a card I had in the pre-release, which I really enjoyed having, so I thought I'll pick one up. 9 mana is a lot, but with the amount of Power Stone tokens we're getting to, hopefully we'll be able to get there quite quickly. Likewise, Phyrexian Triniform I thought was a good gamble as well. You get the 9/9. When it dies, you get 3 3/3s. Then you can encore it for 12. Get in for another 9 at each of your opponents. Sack those copies off. Ooh. And get a load more golems. So yeah, seems like a good plan. Don't know why I keep yawning. I'm really sorry. There must be a lack of oxygen up here today. I am going to play Darksteel Forge in this. I would like to make my artifacts indestructible. There's quite a few Vandal Blasts running around at the moment. I'm not playing one in this deck. I'm sure there's someone, you know, a couple of people have pointed out I don't play that much removal in my decks. This is true. I'll just talk about this for 2 seconds. I play the decks that are a bit more, everyone's a bit more inclusive. Now, if I was going to go down a more, I need to win this deck game, I would be playing things like Vandal Blast. I'll be playing Chaos Warp. I'll be playing some more targeted removal stuff that deals with artifact creatures. But on the whole, I like playing the games out and seeing how they go. Which means things like Damnation, Chain Reaction, Blasphemous Act are enough for me. If you want to go down the other route, feel free to add them in. I've got no problem with it. My decks that I do on all over my YouTube channel are here for what I'm going to play on my stream and I'm going to have fun with. If you want to take one, build it up, make it better, feel free. Just, you know, let me know in the comments and let me know where I've gone wrong with it. That'd be really good. So just, sorry, end of aside. But anyway, Darksteel Forge is in just so we can give everything indestructible. And the last ones we've got coming out, Darksteel Colossus, you know, Blightsteel Colossus, you know, Metalwork Colossus, I'm guessing everybody knows. But one you may not know about came from Fifth Dawn. It's not the biggest creature for 11 mana, Mycosynth Golem, but A, it has affinity for artifacts, and B, it gives all your creatures affinity for artifacts. So if you've got 11 artifacts in play and you drop this, you are going to be actually able to play every single artifact creature in your deck that doesn't have a mana cost in it. So, you know, like Noxious Golem and wherever it is, Combustible Gearhulk. Okay, Bolus of Citadel still cost you some. But all the other creatures you'll literally be able to drop in for free off this. So it's a really good card to pick up, and it's dirt cheap at the moment, so I really recommend you get one. Yeah, light steel, dark steel, metalwork, just made sense in this stake. And that's it. That is my take on Mishra, Tamer of Mak Fawa. Obviously, you can see the dragon in the background. I probably should have the other version of Mishra in here. If you've got one, feel free to drop something out. I would probably drop out for it the Filigree Familiar and put in the other version of Mishra, or use the other version of Mishra up here as your commander and swap these over. But I quite like this one. I like the idea, you know, permanents you control have walled sacrifice a permanent. I really like that idea. And it makes it really difficult to get rid of these. So, that's it for now. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, let me know what you think down below in the comments, let me know what I've missed, and hopefully you'll see me playing it on stream soon. There's a link to Twitch down below, come give me a follow over there. We're 15 off the magic 150 followers at the moment, so if you could go and give me a follow over there, I'd really appreciate it. But that's it for me for now. I'll see you in the next video. Laters!